Hey, I'm Sam Portland. Welcome back to another video. You have got speed questions and I've got your answers. So sit tight for a really entertaining 5 minutes that's going to really help you improve your ability to coach, execute and deliver effective speed coaching for team sports. And the question that we've got today is, what are the most common mistakes that coaches and athletes make when coaching speed? Essentially, got there in the end, right? So I'm going to pick three, okay? Three really simple, easy ones for you to change straight away. And they are, mistake number one is that people run too fast, okay? They run too fast when trying to develop speed, especially in team sports, okay? Number two is that they run too much when trying to develop. They sprint too fast and they sprint too much. And the last question, and the last sort of mistake that people make is they do not prioritize the technical elements of speed as much as they should do. Not speed technique, that's for another video, but just the technical elements. So we'll go back through these now one by one. So number one, you sprint too fast. You probably sat there thinking, well, it's speed training, I have to sprint fast. Well, no, you don't. Sprinting fast is your last option. We can run with high intent, okay? But sprinting fast actually creates a negative effect. If you were to think about this, the easiest analogy is that would you, in a given workout in the gym, do 10, 12, 1 rep maxes in a training session and expect yourself to get better? You're probably thinking, no, and I'm going to tell you, you won't. You will be driven into a hole of fatigue that you would be a dribbling mess for a week if you did 12 1 rep maxes in a workout, especially when you're not even a powerlifter. So what we have to do is appreciate the difference between our absolute max, our competitive max, and then our training max. Now, your absolute max speed will be the speed that you will be able to produce on your freshest day, okay? And you'll probably only be able to hit it if you're looking at GPS thinking I've run 10 meters per second, and that's probably only for about that much distance. Trust me, I used to work with that GPS in professional sports teams, and I could actually see the distance that people cover at those units. It's always less than a meter at 10 meters per second, for example. So take it with a pinch of salt. Then we look at your your competitive. So your competitive max is the max that we would like to be able to see multiple times in competition or in training. So could you produce it on the field week after week? All right, and that is a really good indicator of good field sport speed, being able to back up your speed week after week after week. And then your training max is going to be slightly less than that. 10 to 12%, 10 to 15% for argument's sake. Let's take top speed. And the reason being with that is that what we're able to do, if you were to think of the analogy 5x5 and the popular training methodology 5x5, with the guy who invented it actually just made it up because it sounded good, what we were able to work out is about 25 reps at 65 to 75% is going to improve your 1 rep max quite quickly. So if we take that logic and apply that to running, then we know about 25 steps at about 75 to 80% of top speed is going to start to gradually improve your speed. Why? Because what we're doing is something I've popularized in my book, The Sport Speed System, is we're creating something called step load. So it's the given cost per step of running at a given percentage. So everything's going to equate. So if we can if we run slower and train to run slower, we're going to kill two birds with one stone effectively. We're going to accumulate reps and loads that we can compound and accumulate, okay, like you would do with any other stimulus to create adaptation. But then you're also going to be able to afford the chance of developing technique, and which is the second problem. Sorry, the third problem. The second problem is they run too much. People run too much. So these three all blend into each other. So when we run too much, we create too much fatigue in the body. So you think about how you're trying to find that sweet, good temperature of movement and maintaining that good quality of movement at all times without fatiguing, especially at team sport level where there's not a lot of actual competitive training history with regards to sprinting and speed training, all right, the body is not prepared for it. So the body, these team sport athletes, rugby players, footballers and the like, they are not built to withstand speed. Yes, they run, yes you run a lot in your games, but you're not built to endure or tolerate speed, to tolerate high percentage speed, so it's what you want. So in running too fast, what you're going to try and do is mimic what you're trying to achieve rather than developing what you actually need. That rhymes. And then the last one is not focusing on the technical aspect. So if we tie all these three in together, we know that if we don't run too fast, but we run fast enough to accumulate good step loads, we then can develop our technique and our working capacity at the same time, so we can do more of it. So we create a really good feedback loop and a really good training cycle, which allows progress, and it's the progress that all my athletes get very, very quickly, because we're able to instill a new way of training, a new way of thinking, and a way in which adapts athletes more positively. So what I've done for you is I've got a resource. If you type in max speed in the comments here, I've put together a loading table of the distances, the speeds of which you need to be running at to start to improve your max speed, and you can use this with your teams right away, or you as an athlete can use it for yourself. So if you want a resource and if you want a copy of that, just comment max speed below and I'll get it sent to you. So I hope you enjoyed today's question and answer. I'm Sam Portland. Stick around, there'll be another video that I'd love for you to watch, and keep getting your speed geek on, and stay tuned, and I'll speak to you soon.